Former MI6 agents thought they had left their dangerous past behind, but when a deadly secret resurfaces, they're forced to fight for their lives and their family once again. The clock is ticking, and old enemies are closing in. Today, I'll recap a 2025 action comedy film called Back in Action, so keep your eyes wide open and stay safe. The movie kicks off with two CIA agents, Matt and Emily, getting ready for an exciting new mission. Twist? These two aren't just co-workers, they've secretly been dating. But that's not all. Emily recently found out she's pregnant, and she's keeping it a secret from Matt, for now. Matt and Emily are assigned a risky mission to sneak into a birthday party for the young son of Balthazar Gore, a dangerous arms dealer and terrorist leader. They're being watched by Chuck, another CIA agent, to make sure everything goes smoothly. Emily does a great job stealing Balthazar's fingerprint and recording his voice, and the two use this to break into his safe and steal something called the key. The key is a powerful device that can control any electronic system, including nuclear reactors, but right after grabbing it, the alarm goes off. Chaos breaks out, and Emily and Matt have to fight their way out of the estate before they're caught. After the big heist, Matt and Emily are given a plane by MI6 to help them escape, along with their contact Baron. Baron is someone Emily knows well. She's had a fling with him before. While they're flying home, Emily finally tells Matt about her pregnancy. Matt is super happy and excited, and he tells Emily he wants to be with her through everything. While on the plane, Matt and Emily start to feel something's not right when the steward, Dylan, tells them the bathroom is out of order. That makes them suspicious, and they're right to be. Before they can do anything, Dylan pulls out a gun and takes Emily captive, demanding the key. Matt quickly thinks of a plan to cause a distraction, giving Emily the chance to break free. Then, the two spies have to fight their way through the flight crew to get out of this mess. Things go horribly wrong when Dylan, trying to aim at Emily, accidentally shoots the pilot. The plane starts falling fast, heading straight for the mountains. Dylan grabs the key, thinking he's in control, but then disaster strikes. The plane clips a mountain peak and breaks apart. Dylan is thrown out of the plane, and the key goes with him, flying off into the air. In the chaos of the crash, Matt quickly hands Emily the only parachute, but she holds onto him tightly, and together they land safely in the mountains. After the close call, they realize their lives are way too dangerous, especially with a baby on the way. Feeling like there's no way to keep going in their line of work, they come up with a plan to fake their deaths in the crash and start fresh, away from all the danger. 15 years later, Emily and Matt are living a quiet life in the suburbs with their two teenage kids, Alice and Leo. But Alice starts to feel like something's off. She thinks her parents are hiding the truth about their past, especially since they told her they met in Colombia while working with the Peace Corps. Even though Emily and Matt are loving parents, they struggle to really connect with their kids, leaving them feeling a little distant from each other. Worried about Alice's new relationship with James and feeling more distant from her, Emily starts getting paranoid. She decides to hack into Alice's computer and read her messages, even though Matt tells her not to do it. The parents then follow Alice to a club, where things get heated. After one of the clubgoers grabs Alice, Matt and Emily get into a fight with a few people. The whole fight is caught on video, but Matt quickly deletes it from one of the phones. Alice is grounded, but she calls her parents out for being hypocrites, pointing out how they invaded her privacy and lied about their past. The fight gets Emily thinking about their old life, and she starts to miss the feeling of being needed. The next day, Chuck, their old CIA boss, shows up at their house. He tells them he found them because of a video of the fight. Chuck warns them that they're still in danger. The key was never found after the crash, and the Belarusians who caused the attack are still after them. He also reveals that Baron tricked them and was working with the Belarusians all along. Chuck says they need to hide, or even the CIA will arrest them. At first, Matt and Emily don't want to go along with it, but then Chuck is shot and killed. Soon, a group of mercenaries starts attacking their house. They barely escape and rush to get their kids from school. On the way, Matt confesses that he took the key before the plane crash and hid it at Emily's mom's house as a backup plan, in case things ever went wrong. After picking up Alice and Leo, the family decides to fly to England, where Emily's mom lives. They plan to use the key to make a deal with the CIA for protection. Matt and Emily finally tell Alice and Leo that they've decided it's time for them to meet their grandmother, someone they had always said was dead. Alice, once again, calls them out for being hypocrites and not being honest with her. Emily feels like it's time to tell the kids the whole truth, but Matt doesn't agree. He thinks it's safer to keep the past a secret for now. The family arrives at Heathrow in London, but their arrival doesn't go unnoticed. Baron spots them, and trouble is already brewing. While stopping for breakfast and gas, Alice and Leo discover something strange. They have fake identities on their passports. As they're fueling up, Matt and Emily are suddenly ambushed by a group of Volca mercenaries, but the two parents are ready, and they quickly defeat the attackers. Alice and Leo are shocked to see how easily their parents handled the situation. The family quickly leaves the gas station, but Baron spots them and starts chasing them in his own car. A thrilling car chase begins, with Baron close behind, but Emily manages to shake him off and lose him. After they escape, Matt and Emily decide it's time to tell the truth. They come clean about their real identities to Alice and Leo. Meanwhile, Baron doesn't stop his search for them. His deputy, Wendy, starts to get suspicious about Baron's obsession with Emily and where he's getting his information. The family finally arrives at Emily's mother's house, and Alice and Leo are shocked to see that she lives in a huge fancy estate. Emily's mother, Ginny Curtis, is not just any regular person. She's a famous former MI6 agent. Ginny lives there with her lover and student Nigel, who is also a bit of a mystery. Meanwhile, Baron isn't far behind. He uses property records to figure out where the family went, and soon he's on his way to Ginny's estate. Matt and Emily sit down with Ginny to talk about the key, but things quickly get heated. Ginny and Emily argue about their past. Emily feels hurt because Ginny was never there for her as a child, while Ginny criticizes Emily for giving up her career to focus on her family. Meanwhile, Alice is still angry and rebellious toward Emily, and she overhears the argument. Matt and Emily decide to go look for the key, while Alice stays with Ginny and Leo spends time with Nigel. After getting the key, Matt and Emily notice a helicopter parked on the lawn. They rush inside and find Ginny and Nigel tied up. They quickly free them, but things get worse when they find Alice and Leo being held captive by mercenaries. Emily calls out for Baron to show himself, hoping to negotiate, but instead, it's Chuck who steps forward, revealing he's the real betrayer. He faked his death and followed Matt and Emily, knowing they would lead him to the key. Chuck also explains that Baron isn't working with Volka. He's been tracking them. After the key was lost and Matt and Emily were thought to be dead, Chuck was fired from the CIA and lost everything. Now, he's after money and revenge. Matt gives Chuck the key, and Chuck takes Alice and Leo hostage, threatening to sell the key. He promises to return them in one day. While going through security footage to find any clues about the helicopter, Matt notices something important. Leo is secretly signaling that he still has his thumb ring on, which tracks his health data. Matt and Emily quickly realize this is their chance to find Leo. They use the thumb ring's data to track him to a fancy black tie gala being held at the Tate Modern. Chuck meets with some people who want to buy the key, but Balthazar Gore can't make it himself. Instead, he sends his mercenaries to take the key. Chuck's associate, Daphne, shows off the power of the key by completely shutting down the power grid in London. Then, to make things even more dangerous, she takes control of the Thames River Dam, opening it up and threatening to flood the whole city. Emily and Matt realize that Chuck is showing off the key from the best view in the penthouse. They fight their way through the building to reach the suite where the bidding is happening. In the suite, Chuck sells the key for $250 million. As Matt and Emily try to stop him, they're stopped by Baron. However, Baron decides not to arrest them after realizing they weren't there to sell the key. He also understands that they thought he was a double agent. Meanwhile, Baron and Wendy fight off Chuck's guards, giving Matt and Emily the chance to chase after Chuck. Matt and Emily keep chasing after Chuck, but they're stopped by Gore's mercenaries. Just when things look tough, Ginny takes a sniper position on top of the Tate Modern and forces the mercenaries to let Matt and Emily go. Matt and Emily grab some of Gore's men's motorbikes and keep the chase going. Meanwhile, Baron and Wendy are working hard to stop the Thames Dam from being fully opened. Nigel, who is waiting in a van parked in an alley, sees Daphne sneak into another van with a computer and a bag. He quickly crashes into the van, knocking Daphne unconscious, and grabs the key. Nigel calls Ginny to tell her what happened, and she passes the news on to Matt and Emily, who are chasing Chuck on a boat in the river. Nigel races to close the dam while Emily and Matt catch up to Chuck's boat. They start fighting off Chuck's mercenaries with Leo's help. Nigel manages to close the dam just in time, stopping the boat from hitting the barrier. As Chuck's boat crashes into the raised barrier, Matt, Emily, Leo, and Alice jump off the boat, narrowly escaping. Chuck, however, isn't so lucky and is killed when the boat crashes. Emily talks things out with Alice, and they make up. Then, Emily also has a heart-to-heart with Ginny, mending their relationship. Meanwhile, Matt tells Leo how proud he is of his quick thinking while he was being held captive. A few weeks later, Matt is coaching Alice's soccer team. Emily, Leo, Ginny, and Nigel are all cheering from the crowd. Alice scores the game-winning goal, and the whole family celebrates together, now closer than ever. Alice heads off to study with James and her friend Annalise, while Ginny and Nigel take Leo for the night. Matt and Emily get into their car, but when they open the door, they find Baron sitting in the back seat. He tells Emily that there's another mission they need help with, and this time, they'll need her dad to join in too. So, which awesome movie should we recap next? Drop your suggestions in the comments below and let's make it happen. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button so you never miss out on our movie recaps. We've got plenty more coming your way. Thanks for watching and see you next time. Produced by Warner Movie Recaps 2.